Oh my God.
Don't worry, feel comfortable. Okay, so we would like to start asking you your name, how old you is, and how long you got here in the island.
I was born in, my name is Martha Hester Bawden Gabriel Thompson. I was born January the 9th, 1937. I was married for 49 years. One husband. 8 beautiful daughters. Even gave one Miss Honduras, Ola Thompson.
Miss Olive?
No, that's Ola Ruby. Mine was Ola Thompson. She was Miss Honduras, 1982. I raised them all in the church. They went to church with me every time I went. They slept on a bench or on the floor. When it got 8, they had to get on the floor because when there were more benches to hold us all. I worked hard. I was the first bakery in Utila. First one sold coffee, Johnny cakes, pancakes, omelets in Utila. It was named Thompson's Bakery and Sidewalk Cafe. It was so many people that all the divers, when they couldn't get up and they were so small, they get up inside of there. No, get their order and they go there. Sometimes they'll just put down the order. And Lydia worked with us from then. 100 lempiras a week.
Wow. I guess that was low in those days.
That was plenty of money. So the fellas would get the order, just put the order, and go and sit down outside. Well, it wasn't no motorcycles and cars and trucks and all like that. And I used to make this chocolate cake every morning. And it was one special diver, when he would come, that he'd see all the people in the road. Miss Thompson, send me my fix. I'm coming for my fix. So someone in there, must have been the first time they were there, they said, well, you all sells marijuana? I said, no, son, not in this place. You won't even be able to buy a cigarette nor a bottle of beer. This is a Christian place. So when the boy came, I said, tell him what was you fix that you was asking for. He said, my chocolate cake. When I seen all those people, I thought I wasn't going to get any. So I couldn't go to die without my fix. That was when you could depend that it was no dope in Utila. When the divers started there in Fathom 3, that's when the dope started to come in. I was chief of police. Well, is one of them still lives in Utila, so I won't call his name. But Brian, I don't remember his surname right now. They own the hotel down there by the park. Where's Hotel Utila? And they would go around without shirts. I was the first person that started enforcing the law in Utila. Because Kelsaline's father, used to do it. He was a Christian, so he enforced the law. His son came up and he was the chief of police too, but he didn't work as hard as his dad. Now, he did keep law and order, but not strict. Well, so therefore, it was satisfied. When Hester got there, I really enforced it. I read the law the day before to let them know if they did it, what was the consequences. Anyhow, this guy, you couldn't go around without shirt. You couldn't use these shorts that they would. Miss Decker had a little store, and when they'd put up their leg, everything they owned would fall out. And when she reported, she had 3 daughters. She said, Hester, you gotta do something about this guy. Called him down to the office that evening. But he said, I didn't know. I said, well, you don't have no pride in yourself. Yes, ma'am. I said, well, don't do it again. He must have forgot or thought that that old lady wasn't going to do anything. He had a surprise. I threw him in jail for 3 days with the mosquitoes and sandflies.
Wow. That was a good one.
Every evening at 2 o'clock when I went to my office, I'd send a policeman out to let him out and bring him in. You ready to pay your multa? 3 lempiras. No, I'm staying in jail. I'm advising the Honduran American consul about you. I said, suit yourself. That's American consul, this is Honduras. And you don't buy Honduras law.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that evening then Brian came with 3 or 4 other ones. I was sitting on my front step. He said, Miss Thompson, I come to, let's make a deal. I said, good. We'll give you $800 a month. I said, what's that for? To help clean the cemetery? No, he said, that you turn your eye on the other side. Now wait, get out of my gate. You don't buy Honduran law. And because I'm a woman, you think you could buy me with $800, son? No, please go. Don't you come back here. If you coming back with that. If you come back that you would like to, let's make a deal, that we talk to the divers that's there. Let them to respect the ladies of Utila and especially children.
Mm-hmm.
Never seen him again.
He's gone, disappeared.
No. I never seen him again in my yard.
Oh.
I seen him again in the office. He says, because I notified one of the fellas that I needed him to come to the office. He didn't come. So the second day, Eddie McCoy came. He said, Miss Hester, Brian said, they're not coming to your office. I said, oh no. I laughed. I said, you go back and tell him, I say, if he want to know who I am, don't come this evening. After 4 o'clock, I'll show him he got to respect the law of Honduras. Didn't come. I sent a note up to the FUSIP. He sent me down a soldier out to the lodge. Picked them up and put them, the 2 of them, put them in jail. That evening, 5 o'clock, he said, please, the mosquitoes were so thick and the sandflies so bad. I said, no, this is not office hours. We'll talk tomorrow at 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, he wouldn't come. He was another one told me about the American consul. 2 days later, I got a telegram from the American consul asking me if I had any contact with their name and call their names to let them know. Anything they can do, let them know. So I sent him a telegram letting him know why. He sent me a letter congratulating me for being a woman and running the town of Utila so strict, because he said anytime you want to go to the States, because he instigated that you weren't going to ever be able to get a visa. Anytime you want one, you can get one.
Mm-hmm. You showed him.
Yeah. It wasn't that I showed him that he had to respect the law. Not because I was a woman, he was to push me on his feet. And it's the guy that's still living in Utila now. I was going down by my brother's Johnny. And he was coming off the cemetery, going up the hill. And he only had on one little piece of pants, no shirt or anything. Next day I notified him to the Cabildo. He said, nobody seen, you didn't see me. The policeman didn't see me. Where I was coming from. I said, no son, I seen you. I told him the time it was and everything. Well, I ain't paying no multa. That's in the night. Nobody seen me but you. I said, okay, lock him up. 6 days he stayed in jail. Every day he wrote a poem about me.
Wow.
And I asked him a couple of months ago, I said, would you how one of them poems that you wrote about me, the one that gives the chief of police our kicks? He said, Miss Hester, you remember that? I said, yeah. Well, son, I'd like to get one. Okay, but he never did bring it. He said the chief of police got the kick from the man's kicks. Well, the fella that I put in jail for not coming when I notified him, he went to the States and he wrote a book.
A book?
A book.
Wow.
It's, when I seen it, it was 197 pages about the chief of police and how I ran the island. And he, at that time, he was sorry. He did what he did, but he had other ones, and he was under the influence. He didn't say alcohol, drugs, or the influence of Brian. So, I met him about 12 years later on Houston Airport. I didn't recognize him because he got so heavy, and I guess I did too. And he came up to me. He said, Miss Thompson, are you the chief of Utila? I said, used to be, son. You don't remember me? I said, no, son. He said, you taught me a great lesson. Wherever you go, you gotta respect the law, and especially a lady. I said, thank you, son. Thank you. He didn't tell me about the book.
No.
No. My Samake's daughter is married to a military guy. And I went to spend a couple of days with them. And I said, can I call Miss Oriella, a lady in Florida? Charles, she said, yes, Grandma. So I called Boo. Yeah. Estoy ocupado un momento, está urgente. She calls me Granny. So, my thought left. Anyway, when I would multa the young fellas for not going to school, children for not going to school, or out on the street after the whistle was blown at 8 o'clock.
The whistle was blowing,
We
said?
blowed a whistle at 8 o'clock. That was a deadline for children to be on the street. School children. School children. And if they didn't, if they were on the street, they had to pay 3 lempiras multa. So then the parents, some of the parents that could afford it, would come and pay theirs. I said, no, it's no more multa. You got 2 days to clean the street. So I'd have them all cleaning all the streets, the gutters and everything. And the times that it was hot, I'd go and get them soft drinks and get them a bun, because those days it wasn't like it is now. And I'd get them a bun, cinquito, Now I think it's 20 lempiras for a bun.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll tell you how long ago that was.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll say, well, I don't mind going to be multed. We could work on the road, cleaning the road, and still get a fresh score.
They were happy about that then.
Now the older men, or when they got fined, they had to clean the cemetery. And we'd have a soldier, because then it was only 2 soldiers. One of them would go with them. And other people then would send them punch and cookies and all like that. So they didn't mind being multed.
You used to like it.
Yeah. But they were the good days. Now they were hard days, but they were good days. I remember the first strike the school teachers did in Utila. I wasn't chief of police. I didn't have any girls in the school, but I had grandchildren. And man, that was a big thing in Utila. Teachers striking. Getting so much money for wages. I went on the hill. And they were all under this mango tree. And I bid them good morning. I say, who is the director here? And they said who it was. I said, could that person come here? Son, let me tell you something. You got an education. Get interested in the children, not in the pay. Now I say, I think it's a shame and a disgrace for something like this to be happening on our little island. Now, the government can still pay you your wages whether you work or not. So I think you need to get back in that schoolroom and teach the children. Listen to it. Watch the children what they're doing. It was 2 of them that they were the ringleader of it. They hung their head. I say I assume each and every one of you teachers here have children. How do you feel if it's a strike? We could strike for Nutella. I wish I would have been well when they marched down there, the last strike they had in Nutella. But I wasn't well. I'd have stood up in the corner there and let them know it's a disgrace for teachers to strike and not give the children. It's enough holidays. Those days it was only the Good Friday week and the 15th of September. No, they had Children's Day was the 10th of September. But not these days. They have a holiday. The same thing at the churches these days has, if it's raining, it's no church. If it's carnival, it's no church. If they haven't this, it's no church. And we serving God, we gotta serve Him every day, every hour alike. So, you tell the children these days, if they don't want to go to school, I'm not going to school today. I'm still sleeping. The parents, they don't worry about it. They're probably up all night watching television. They don't want to go to school. So, that's the difference it is those days and today.
And before they were happy, they wanted to go to school.
If a man's cursed on the street, they used to call it the foul and pure word.
Miss Janelle told us about that.
The foul and pure word. It only had 4 letters. But if you said it, you had to pay 5 lempiras. Or 5 days in jail. After a couple of them got it, you think they would be able to disrespect the ladies in Utila like they're doing today? Still some of the older men, if I'm passing, and I'm sorry, Miss Hester, if they say a curse word, I'm sorry, Miss Hester. But you see, you got to train children from the cradle to be able to have a good boy and a good girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that's enough for you all this morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to ask a question? No?
Yeah.
Oh, when you got a
I guess-
question?
Maybe sometime I could. This is not a question. That a couple of years ago,